Hello, and welcome to this short video presentation on exam operations. In this presentation, I will review how to book your quizzes, tests, and exams with the Student Accessibility Center, or SAC. My name is Carla Britton, and I'm the exam coordinator for the Student Accessibility Center. I want to welcome you to Dalhousie, as well as to the center. In the next few minutes, I'll take the time to review our operations as well as the booking procedures. I wanted to give a quick overview of this video that you're watching. The first is we're going to do a little welcome introductions, introduce you to some of the staff at SAC. I'm going to discuss our testing locations and where you can find us both on Studley and Sexton campus. I will review how to book your quizzes and tests and exams with us, so that our process, the form, what it looks like, and what you need to complete. I'm going to address a little bit about online versus in-person classes, and so what you need to know for the fall term. Some important dates and reminders as part of the exam booking process and information that you'll need to have. You can add this to your calendar, you can add it as reminders to your phone, but really important to kind of keep these dates in mind. And of course, if you have any questions or concerns, how do you find us? Where do you go? I wanted to give you a little welcome introduction to our exam operations. Student Accessibility has the support of all the advisors. So you can certainly speak to your advisor if you have any questions, and they can direct you to the supports that you may need. We also have a team that is here to support your writing experience. As I said earlier, my name is Carla, and I'm the exam coordinator for the center. We also have an exam operations assistant, Katie, Lori, who's our office administrator and will be more than happy to welcome you to the Market Hill Accessibility Center, Maria, who's essential in supporting our assistive technology. We have a team of lead invigilators as well as a large team of invigilators, readers, and scribes who are there to support you and make sure that you have a good experience writing a test and exam. So where do we support our students? We actually have two testing locations. The first being the Market Hill Accessibility Center on Studley campus, and the second being our Sexton Test Center on Sexton campus. But we also schedule test and exams at distance locations. So during peak periods of the academic year, perhaps that would be midterms and certainly around finals, we do book test and exams outside of those locations with invigilators and staff to support you. The Market Hill Accessibility Center is at the end of University Avenue. It's the lovely blue painted building there next to the Killam Library. And the Sexton Test Center is of course down on Sexton campus. And you can see there a little circle that I've drawn. That's where our Sexton Test Center is located. So how do you book your quizzes, tests, and exams with Student Accessibility? For any on-site or in-person invigilation through Student Accessibility, the first thing you need to do is log on to Dal.Ca with your NetID and password. From here, you'll be able to access the exam booking form. Here is a link to the URL of the exam booking form. It's a Microsoft form, which I'll review in the next slide on what you need to complete for the form. The next, you will receive a confirmation email that you have been scheduled. So that email will confirm for you that you've been scheduled and the location on where you have been scheduled. Additionally, a reminder email will be sent to you prior to your exam so that you can update your calendar or phone with the exam date. If for any reason you need to cancel your booking, you can certainly do so. Please email us at sasexams@dal.ca confirming your name, your B00 number, and the course and exam that you'd like to cancel. In this slide, I'm going to review the student exam request form. In the previous slide, I provided you with a link to this form. When you log onto this form using your NetID and password, it will be connected only to you. I wanted to highlight some important questions that we ask and answers that you need to provide. The first is the course code. Your course code includes the 4 letters and 4 numbers of your course, not the CRN number. So for example, a course would be ENGL 1010. We need those 4 letters and 4 numbers. The second question asks for the section number. It's really important that you indicate the section number. In some cases, you may only have one section, and others you may have multiple sections. And for those classes where there's multiple sections, there may be different instructors. So it's really important to be accurate in your course code and section number so that we can ensure we're accurate in providing you with the right exam from the right instructor. The third question asks you the date of the quiz, test, or exam. In that circle, you'll see a drop-down calendar. So you're going to write your test or exam the same day as your class. You can consult your course syllabus or the final exam schedule to get the correct dates, but you'll be writing the same day as your class. This is the second page of the student exam request form. You're going to want to put the start time of your exam based on the class time. If there's a concern with this start time, consult with your advisor. But you're technically going to start the same time as your class. And we'd ask that you put the time in as, for example, 9 a.m., 5:30 p.m. We want you to indicate the duration in minutes of the regular scheduled quiz, test, or exam. It's really important that you put the regular duration and not include your extra time. We're going to calculate that for you, your time extension, if you have it as part of your accommodation plan. We just want to know how long your instructor has scheduled that quiz, test, or exam. Is it 15 minutes? Is it 30? Is it 60? Or is it 120 minutes? So putting that regular duration is really important. If it's not indicated in your syllabus, you can always consult with your instructor. We also need to know the type of exam so that we can be prepared for you and your exam. So it could be what type of quiz, test, or exam the instructor is providing. Is it through Brightspace? Is it a paper-based exam or quiz or test? If you're not sure, check your syllabus to see if it indicates it. And if it does not indicate it, I would encourage you again to connect with your instructor. This is the final page of the student exam request form. Now, of course, it won't look like a page to you because it's an online form, but for our purposes, this would be the final part of the form. If you would like a record of the submission, be sure to click on that tab, send me an email receipt of my responses, and you'll get confirmation that you submitted a request. If you review your syllabuses at the beginning of each term, you can submit all your requests in advance. And for final exams, you can submit your requests as soon as exam schedules are released. The earlier that you prepare and have your submissions in, the less work that there is throughout the academic year. I wanted to review some of the deadlines during the academic year that'll be important for you to keep in mind. The first is that the deadline for booking your quizzes, tests, exams during the academic year is 7 days. So for example, if your exam is on Friday, October 22nd, your exam booking form needs to be submitted on or before Friday, October 15th. We do consider 7 days, including both weekdays and weekends. If you're not able to meet this deadline, we will not be able to schedule you. So it's really important that you meet the 7-day deadline so that we can get you scheduled for your quizzes, tests, and exams. You can book everything in advance. So if you'd like to, once you get your course syllabus, you can book everything based on your deadlines for your quizzes, tests, and exams, and certainly when the final exam schedule comes out, you can book that as well. If you need a computer or assistive technology, you must request that if you're approved. It's really important that you do that so that we know that we have the proper equipment for your test and exam. Here's some information on deadlines for final exams. For final exams, the deadline is a little bit different than the regular academic term. You need to book your final exams in both December and April, 3 weeks in advance. We do send reminder emails to complete the exam booking forms to schedule your finals, but we cannot guarantee we can book your final exams if you submit your request after the 3-week deadline. It's really important to keep this deadline in mind so that we can organize our services and staff to make sure that we can do the invigilation. Again, if you do need a computer or assistive technology, you must request it if you're approved so that we can be prepared for your exam and the type of exam that you're writing. I wanted to provide everyone with some deadlines for the finals in fall of 2021. So on October 1st, the December exam schedule will be posted by the registrar's office. December 7th will be your last day of classes. The exam period then will run between December 9th and December 19th. Based on the above dates, you'll need to submit your exam booking request forms for the fall 2021 final exam period by Friday, November 19th. Really important to keep this date in mind. But again, note that you can submit your final exam bookings as soon as your final exams are scheduled. So come October 1st, you'll know when your final exams in December are going to be. You can book those then. The earlier, the better. Here are some deadline dates for Winter Finals 2022. In February, the date right now is to be determined. The April exam schedule will be posted. April 6th will be your last day of classes, and between April 8th and April 26th, the exam period will take place. Again, based on the above dates, you'll need to submit your exam booking request form for the Winter 2022 finals by Friday, March 18th. As I noted in the earlier slide, you can book your final exams as soon as you know your final exams are scheduled. While that date is to be determined, you can book your final exams for April in February once that schedule has been released. While the majority of your classes will be in person this year, there will be some classes that may be online. And I wanted to outline a little bit of the difference between online quizzes, tests, and exams and in-person quizzes, tests, and exams. For online quizzes, tests, and exams, instructors will set your extra time, including your stop time breaks if you're approved. So when you log onto Brightspace, your extra time will be reflected before you begin your quizzes, tests, and exams. There's nothing you need to do with SAC to book your forms. So the student exam booking form is not something you need to complete if you're an online course this academic year. But again, for the in-person quizzes, tests, and exams, you do need to book them through the online student exam request form. Using the information that you've submitted and your accommodations, we will schedule your quizzes, tests, and exams for you. Once your quizzes, test, and exam has been scheduled, we will email you with confirmation that you are scheduled. And you'll receive a reminder email about 24 to 48 hours before your quiz, test, and exam. You do need to submit a request form for in-person quiz, test, and exams for every quiz, test, and exam that you want to write with SAC. As you may have some online quizzes, tests, and exams, I wanted to share some tips for taking online tests and exams. Make sure when you're writing your test and exam that you choose a space that limits or removes distractions for you. Have all your materials ready before you start your exam. Make sure you know what tools are not permitted. What are you allowed to have during the exam and what are you not allowed to have? Do not commit an academic offense. Make sure that you're academically honest and following the exam protocols. Stay on the exam website. Don't stray. And click submit when you're done and keep a record of that submission. For more detailed tips, you can always visit Tips for Taking Remote Exams. The link is here. So where do you go for support if you have questions or you're wondering about the booking process itself? I just want you to know that we are here to help. Here's a list of some emails if you're looking for some support. So the general email to reach us would be at sasexams@Dal.Ca. You can, of course, contact me, and my email address is listed there, carla.britton@Dal.Ca. And you can also reach out to Katie, our exam operations assistant. Her email is sasprs@Dal.Ca. So if you have any questions or you are wondering about anything to do with the process, please reach out. We're happy to help. Well, I wanted to thank you for your time and attention on this video, and I want to wish you all the success during the fall and the winter term, and good luck on all your quizzes, tests, and exams.